It's really important now that it's not an appropriate environment for children to be in intensive care units long term. They become institutionalised, the families become institutionalised, and it's not the correct environment for them to be in. We do find that once children go home, they develop a lot quicker once they're in their own environment, and it's really important that we try and speed up the process as quickly as possible to get the children home in order for them to live a normal life and for them to develop.
So Lita's been with us at the Royal Brompton for about 6 months now. She's had one major heart surgery and she's waiting to get home now. We're sorting out the community care package. She'll be coming back after she's been home to have another heart surgery when she's just waiting to put on a little bit of weight, and that's the plan for her at the moment. We're just waiting to get the community care package sorted out, so the various carers, that they've had the right training and they're in place to help mum and dad at home.
Pretty nice.
Omar went to the Brompton July last year with chronic lung disease, and when he was there it got worse, so then he just went downhill, and everything they tried, ventilating, and they weren't sure what to do. And then before Christmas last year, he had a lobectomy where they took 2 of his lobes away. That seemed to help him, and then since then he got a lot better. And then he was moved from PICU, intensive care, to the ward at the Brompton, and he'd done really well there. And then he had to have another more surgery, a fundoplication, when they sawed. And then he got through that, and then he was moved to Brighton, where we are now, and he's come on leaps and bounds, and now we're discussing discharge and planning discharge. Because he was doing so well, and he'd gone from a ventilator in PICU to a mobile ventilator, portable ventilator, and he was doing so well with it, and they were weaning pressures, and he was doing time on Swedish nose, and then they decided that he was well enough to come closer to home, to a hospital closer to home, but because of being fully ventilated, he had to come to a HDU, so Brighton was the closest HDU to home, really.
Today we have the second home planning meeting for Omar, and this is the second meeting we've had since Omar was transferred from the Royal Brompton to Brighton, and the purpose is to get everybody together, to keep everybody focused, and be clear about everybody's responsibilities, roles and responsibilities, because it's quite a huge team, isn't it, from community team and hospital teams, with Nadine very much at the helm. And I'm Nadine and Omar's key worker, so I help facilitate the process and guide Nadine through the sort of home planning journey, as it were. Yeah.
I was trained up at the Royal Brompton Hospital. It was excellent. They gave me a lot of courage. And at first I didn't want to do it because it just looked all too scary. I'd done stage by stage, little bit by little bit, over and over again, and I gained my confidence, and now it's just built into my life that I do it without even thinking, really. But the hospital, they were really, really good. They explain it well, they talk you over it, and yeah, I was happy with them, the way they helped me with it.
This tells 4. Okay. So as you know, we tend to routinely change them about every month for this type of tube. The reason we've got the baby wrapped up is just so that they're not helping, as it were, change the tube, that their arms are out of the way, and that we can get on and do the job that we need to do and do it quickly. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure we've got the right size tube to change it with. So we're changing this tube, and they're both the same size. Here we've got, this is an introducer just here, which just helps the tube slide down nice and easily, and then as soon as that's gone in, we're going to take that one out. We'll start by, I'm just going to untie the tape so that obviously it's easy to take out and that it's not being held in by the tapes. Yeah. So now we've got the tracheostomies loose, and it's just me holding on to it. So what I'm going to do now is make sure I've got this one ready to go. take that one out, put that to one side and quickly put this one back into the hole. There we go, and take the introducer out so that the air can get down the tube. And then again we need to secure this one, so just pop the dressing back under the tracheostomy. Now I'm doing this by myself, but normally when you're doing a tracheostomy change which is planned, you'd be wanting to do it with 2 people so that it's nice and safe. You've got another pair of hands to help you. There we go, I've got this behind the back. Obviously in an emergency situation you might not have somebody else to help you, so you might end up doing this on your own, but certainly in hospital there'll be people around to help you, but at home, just so you're aware, you might need to be doing it this technique that I'm showing you. And then we'll just pop the Swedish nose back on the end. So it's just very calm, just changing the tube over and putting the new one in, and that's it. Nice new tube, there we go.
I have quite a large care package for summer, as she is a very high profile child. I have carers that come in from 9 till 6. I have maybe 2 or 3 different ones during the day, and at night I have from 10 till 7 in the morning, which vary different agency nurses, but I've mainly kept the ones that I like. But I do get a couple of hours on my own a couple of days a week, and it's not too bad. But there has been days that I've done by myself and it's been fine. But obviously I do get that help back, like I get the hours back that I've missed, so then I can have like my rest, because at the end of the day when you have got 2 children, especially one on a ventilator, your mind is going everywhere. I have to admit. But the carers, they are brilliant, and they're there for you, for your child as well, so it's nice to have them around, really, and know that you've got that support as well.
The members of the sort of meeting, the team as it were, children's community nurses, health visitor, social worker, the hospital key nurses, any other community nurses, specialist disability nurses, for example, nurse educators, the consultant, so the consultant who's the lead at the hospital. Sometimes there's also a high dependency consultant involved as well. And then the community paediatricians may be involved. The general practitioner could be very wide. It depends on the particular child and their need. We tend to have meetings every month. It's quite good to have them every month, because then that keeps everybody focused. And they also tie into, most PCTs have panel meetings monthly, and so we can provide feedback to and from the PCT, who will be funding the home package of care for each family.
Okay, so even when we go for a walk in the park with Lita, we have to take quite a lot of equipment just to make sure that she's safe and we've got everything we might need in any situation. So if I just go through it with you, we've got it all in the buggy here. We've got the biggest thing here is we've got an oxygen cylinder. So Lita's not needing oxygen at the moment, but in the possibility of an emergency, she might need that. So we bring that with us just in case. And then the next bit is the battery charges up, so we have to plug it into the mains, but we can bring it out. And we turn it on here, and there's various pressures you can set it at. And then I've just tied it away, but you attach it to a suction catheter there, and it works just as well as the wall one would do. It's quite noisy, but it does work. That's it, just turn it off there.
Cut that one.
Okay, so this is a bag with various bits of emergency equipment in it. If I open it up and show you, there's lots of different things in here, and the main thing will be the ambu bag, and there's some extra suction catheters and tracheostomies in there, but the main thing is we just have it all in one place and ready to go, and that just sits in the back of the buggy with the suction machine.
My name's Becky. I'm a respite carer for the Surrey PCT, and I've looked after Summer since she's been in East Surrey Hospital. Summer come into East Surrey Hospital about the week into March, and then she was in there and I was with her most days. We looked after her until she come out of hospital on the 2nd of April when she came home, and I was actually on shift the day she came home, so it was a big moving process. It was quite and then she's been home now since the 2nd of April, and she's just coming on in leaps and bounds, coming on really well. So
what do you put that down to?
Change of scenery, fresh air, just being outside.
When Summer was in hospital, she was basically bedbound, ventilated, and it was very hard to take her off the ventilator, to put her on a Swedish nose so you can walk around with her or take her out, because we just didn't know with Summer. So it's very hard, but since she's been home, we've tried everything. We've gone to Brighton, taken her on the train and taken her on the bus, gone to the park. We've done everything and she loves it, and I think seeing a new atmosphere and obviously going outside, she never had fresh air for a year of her life basically.
Well, Omar's well enough now, so we can go out and about, and he has a specialised buggy which carries all of his equipment, everything, which came from the PCT. And we go out for walks, we go out for coffee, we go along to the beach, along the promenade, and it's just nice to be able to do ordinary things, you know, even though it does take a little bit of time, but it's worth it at the end of it anyway.
Once a child is medically stable, the focus from all members of the team should be in directing that child towards the best environment, which is undoubtedly the home environment with good support, so that the families feel that they can function as normally as possible.
So now the process is in swing to take on. How do you feel about it?
Mixed emotions about going home. I am excited, absolutely, because he hasn't been home. But obviously I'm anxious and worried, and am I going to do the right thing? But we've got great support, you know, there's going to be carers, and I've got a great family that are going to help us. But we've been out once, and it's boosted my confidence more. So I'm excited, but like I say, I've got mixed emotions.
Since she's come home, there's been a big change that she can come off the ventilator for 2 hours. It has been proven to 4 hours, which we didn't know of. She took it off herself. It showed us that she can cope off the ventilator, and now we've just been pushing that more to get her strength up, and it's been brilliant, because I was told that she wasn't going to make it, and this would be her for the rest of her life, just sitting there basically, or laying there on a ventilator doing nothing. And now look at her. She's a little fighter.